I got a call on a Friday, and I was at the pad, and the guy calls and he says, "Hey, this is so-and-so from The Simpsons." And I'm all, "Hey, what's up?" He goes, "Hey, you passed your test, and we'd like to invite you to join us on, the next season, on season 10, and starting Monday." Oh, fuck yeah, sure. What's up? I got excited. He goes, "Okay, great. Monday, boom." I hung up the phone, and he called me right back, and then I picked it up. I'm all, "Hello." He goes, "Hey, it's me again." I'm all, "What's up, man?" He goes, "Hey, we never discussed pay." I said, "Well, shit, how much does it cost? I'll pay. What does it cost?" He goes, "No, we're gonna pay you." I'm like, "Shit, the discussion's over, dude." I was drawing Bart and all them things for free at that point. I was drawing for dudes the bootlegged shirts over at the swap meet. Okay, so I got picked up by The Simpsons, and I got that phone call, and I was so stoked once I got that phone call that of course, naturally, immediately I called my wife and my parents and started calling all my friends and everything. And one of the phone calls I had to make was to my boss over at Teleflora, and tell him, like, "Hey man, I got picked up by The Simpsons. I can't work here anymore." Now, that was a good paying job. I mean, I was making a lot of money, and it was like benefits. My wife worked, several floors up. My best friend was in a cubicle across from me. And that was another thing too. I had to let down my best friend. We had just started this clothing line called Blackfish, and it was an idea that we had for. Mabel's into orca whales, and she really loves those big blackfish. And we were trying to figure out a name for a clothing line. She really liked orcas, and who's gonna buy a shirt called Orca? And we were trying to get some things out there, and I came up with an idea as an animator, trying to be, I wanted to come up with a little storyline of, "Hey, well, what if we went up to, the tribe, the indigenous tribes up north, what did they call it? What did they see it?" So we started doing our research, and we found out that some tribes up north were referring to them as orca whale, the killer whale, as the blackfish. So we started a clothing line called Blackfish. So we had made up a lot of designs, and we had got the whole line ready. And we actually tried to set up a meeting with SeaWorld because, they're really popular down there. So we thought we were trying to get them down in the concessions down there. But then I got called into The Simpsons, so that everything got put on hold. So that kind of sucked for us. But, thank God that recently I got hooked up with a buddy of mine who is connected to some dude with a whale movie that we might be able to work on something. So I'll get to that later on. But anyways, I had to walk away from that, and that was kind of tough because I had like my best friend there, my wife, and I literally worked like around the corner, so it was just up the street, so everything was like really convenient. But there was no way I was going to pass up a chance to go to The Simpsons. So I said bye to everybody, and I got the blessings for the people I needed to get blessings from. It was just the people that I really cared about. Everyone was really happy for me over there. All the people I worked with, everyone was stoked, and they were all surprised. Nobody really knew I was trying to do that, and it was a lot of shock to them, because I was one day we're like, you're working on one project, the next day I was like, "I'm out," because then I had just bailed. But luckily Mabel was good enough to pick up the pieces and take it from there. But I went to go work at The Simpsons from there, and it was cool that first day. Like I said, I bumped into the guy who had given me that test, and he was surprised. Jay Francis was surprised to see me there. I didn't call Swampy, and I didn't tell Donald. I didn't want to tell DJ anything because he was already working there. DJ, he got hired about, I'd say 2 to 3 weeks prior to me getting picked up by The Simpsons. He got picked up by King of the Hill. Now, we went there together to, he wanted to pick up the test, and I think that was the time when I spoke with Jay Francis. I was there with DJ to pick up tests, and that's how I got to talking to Jay Francis and stuff, and just worked my way around it. And he was amused by me. I could tell. I remember that he was like, "Hey, this chubby little bastard. He's a cheeky little fellow. He thinks he's bad enough. Yeah, throw it." And he even said, he goes, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And then he said, "You got only but several weeks to turn this in, because after that, there's a cutoff. They don't start reviewing. They only look at what's submitted at this time." So I said, "Okay, cool." And luckily, that's when Swampy, that's where he stepped up to the plate and totally helped me out. I mean, luckily he knew layout. And he would come to my house, and we would hang out and, party a little bit, and just, drink a couple beers here and there. But he became my teacher, and he locked it down. He really showed me what I needed to know to get that Simpsons style down. And he had me doing it. And I guess back then, like I said, every day, just going at it. My pencil mileage was high back then. And I submitted after Swampy said, like, hey, I think you're ready. It was, right before the deadline cut off, a week later, whatever it was. I had dropped that thing off, and I just dropped it off and just crossed my fingers. And then I got that phone call, and then I was there. It happened so fast. It just happened like it was happening. When it was happening, it was surreal, because even that first drive up there, it was a strange. I used to roll my '63 Impala. My Rampla was tight. But anyways, I rolled up there, and I remember pulling up and everyone looking, big white lowrider pulls up, and big dude gets out, and I was really happy. I wasn't like a big angry dude. I don't know what I looked like, but I would assume they looked like a happy little, like a chubby baby that crawled out of a big car. And everyone seemed like, hey, who's this guy? And Swampy saw me right away. He's like, what are you doing here? And I told him, hey man, I'm here. And he goes, I thought you were, I actually did call Swampy. Take that back. I remember telling him, because he had to know. And at first I thought, he thought I was playing with him, but then it was like, it really made it for real when I showed up. Now, I'm pretty sure he knew. Hopefully he pulled some strings. I don't know, maybe he didn't. I don't know. But it wasn't. It was a blind test, and I found that out, that it was like, you take it, they submit, and you pass. That's it.